What's up, party people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time. DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you can have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Let me entertain you. Speaking of entertainment, today on the program I have Kacey McClain. What? You don't know a lot about Kacey McClain? Well, you're going to get to know about Kacey McClain in the next few minutes, so stick around for that. This week's shows, I have one public show that you're all invited to. Yes, everybody invited to the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. Friday nights. That's my regular Friday night gig. Offered to the public from 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the a.m. They got a full bar. The kitchen's open, pool tables. In fact, they got a pool tournament on Friday night. So if you want to try to make some money playing pool, I encourage you to check out the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. Oh, and I can't say enough about the kitchen. They got chicken wings, burgers, pizzas. Oh, my goodness. So delicious. It's good. It's bar food, but it's good bar food. They always send me home with chicken wings or a hamburger. I usually like to have that at night. And it probably shouldn't be eating that late at night. But, I'm hungry after a show, after performing for the people. And then on Saturday is one of my days off. Sunday, I have a wedding. I'm so excited about that. I hardly ever get Sunday weddings because I usually leave Sunday for lazy Sunday. After working hard all week long, Monday through Saturday, it's good to have one good day of rest. All right. Now, I got, let's get in. That's enough intro. Let's get into it with Kacey McClain. I got Kacey McClain on the Skype. So if you're listening to the audio version, I encourage you to check out the video version on YouTube, youtube.com/user/KeysDAN, or just look up KeysDAN on YouTube and you'll see the Radio What logo there sitting next to that YouTube page. The other ones, I got one for karaoke and one for the DJ stuff. But yes, the YouTube page with the Radio What logo, that's the one that I put all my radio stuff, including the podcast. All right, that's enough. Let's get into it with Kacey McClain. Skyping Kacey McClain now. There we go.
There we go.
Hey, winner. I'm smarter than the machine. I can do this. Kacey McClain in the house. What is going on?
Oh, just another day, man.
Man, I've been so excited about this I know we scheduled this probably 2, maybe 3 months ago.
Yes, I was going to say it was like at least 2 months ago.
Yeah, I get scheduled so far ahead. The thing is, these things get booked up, and I love hearing people's stories. And I don't plan for these things. I don't research for these things in general. But for you, man, I've been listening to your songs. It's really good. I'm excited. In case you can't hear it in my voice, I'm excited to be talking to a genuine pop star, a real life pop star.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, like right smack dab in the middle of the genre of pop, and it boggles my mind. That there's people that can do this, that can find this avenue. Before I go any further, give the people an idea of who you are, Kacey McClain.
I'm Kacey McClain, and I create real, honest pop music.
I read that on your Facebook page. That's your blurb. What would be constituting real, honest pop music?
It would be digging into topics that aren't necessarily straightforward and positive, like up front, but finding the silver lining and the true honesty in whatever topic you're writing about.
Okay, well, you have about, I think it's 3 songs that are out there available on YouTube right now, and you've been doing this at least since 2018. But I'm sure you've been doing it for a whole lot longer than that, But that's when you gave your first offering to the world. And I do appreciate. I'm a man of the MTV era. I was there when it began. I appreciate the videos. You are not only audio, but you're visual as well. You give people, you take people to another place. Is that the California in you? Were you born and raised in California, or was that someplace else?
No, so I was born and raised in Texas. So I am technically a Southern belle, I guess you would consider me. And I moved to California. Actually, this Friday will be 4 years now. And the visual part of me comes from, I see a song before I write it.
Okay.
So when I'm in the studio or when I'm in a writing session, I usually already have a visual of what I see the video being like. So with Stronger Than Unbreakable, I already pretty much had the visuals down to what I wanted while we were writing the song. so I'm weird in that aspect where visuals are very important to me because it kind of helps me get out what I'm wanting to say.
Well, you're not weird in that respect. You're of another time, because I remember, when MTV first came out and decided to put all their videos together, because in the 70s there was music videos out there, and even technically, from what I understand, Jailhouse Rock by Elvis Presley is considered the first music video because it's a song that's put over like kind of a story. It has nothing to do with the movie. So they kind of went off base from the movie and made a little video within the movie. So I know when I play music videos on Friday night, and I look forward to playing some Kacey McClain on Friday night at my at the club there at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. Yeah, I'm a Southern belle myself. Of course, I'm from Miami and the Florida Keys, which is where KeysDAN comes from. But I find myself in Arkansas, just on top of Texas. Tell me about when the stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. How is a Kacey McClain growing up? Because I see some of the outfits do reflect a little Southern belle, but then you got California all over it. But yeah, tell me about Texas.
Yeah, I born and raised, and I lived there till I was 19. And music was always a big part of my life. My mom always sang me to sleep. My family was very strict, Southern Baptist, very religious. So it was all Christian music that was sung to me.
Okay, what's mom's go-to song? Because I have a favorite Baptist, a favorite Christian song. What's mom's go-to?
So my mom was very eclectic, but our go-tos when she was singing to me at night were either Michael Card or they were Amy Grant.
Okay, well, sing me one. give me one of the Michael Card songs. I'm familiar with Amy Grant. I remember she started off in gospel, but Michael Card.
I don't have one off the top of my head that I can name you.
That's all right. I put you on the spot. You were a wee little tot.
I know them.
You were a wee little girl when she was singing to you, unless she still sings to you. It's possible. It's possible.
No, no. But I was 10, I believe, when I snuck my first pop record into the house.
What was it?
And it was Mariah Carey's Music Box on cassette tape.
That's a good one to start with. That's a good one to start with. Oh my goodness. Lofty goals to try to keep up with Mariah. Oh, you don't have to try to keep up. No, it's near impossible. The way she used to run in that particular, okay, you had cassettes. I had 45s. Okay. I had 8-track tapes. Okay. I'm an older man. I get it.
I broke my mom's 8-track player, so I do know what 8-tracks are, but I never had any of my own.
Okay, I had three. I had three.
Okay.
But all right, so Mariah Carey, she's your first little sneak in. How do you listen to her? If is there a family stereo that you have to wait till everybody's
No,
home and you're not
I
home?
had my Walkman, my little Walkman, and my headphones. And
Grandma,
that
what's a
was
Walkman? Tell the people what a Walkman is.
it was a portable cassette player. It was the best thing ever in the 90s
It
because you could
really
finally
was.
take music with you.
It really was, and it likens to now when you put your ear pods in and you put your iPhone
Yeah.
on. It likens now to what it was back then, but you only had one album at a time. It wasn't
Yep.
flipping and shuffling. No, you
And you
listened
had
to
to
one album,
rewind.
and you had to rewind. So yeah, this is a metallic tape. These are things that of the past, but did you listen to that tape over and over until you broke
I
it?
listened to it until it got like the tape got bent and like warped and it wouldn't rewind anymore. And I got so upset when it finally broke. So my first pop CD that I got was Celine Dion's album. Oh gosh, it had "My Heart Will Go On."
Talk
Oh
about
gosh, what was
lofty.
the record's name?
Talk about lofty. You're picking these ladies that have voices that carry. They don't even need a microphone when they do these big theaters.
Yeah.
They carry from the front to the back. Amazing artist. And if these are people that you want to emulate, that you want to look up to, these are fine goals to have. Kacey McClain.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness. No.
they were my go-tos back in the 90s. And then Jewel came out, who I fell in love with her stuff, mostly not because of the music itself, but because of the lyrics. I absolutely adored her lyrics. And then, Alanis Morissette came out and I got really into her. And then Avril Lavigne is another one that I was borderline obsessed with.
Yeah. These are lyricists. These are
And-
people that tell
yeah.
stories while they're singing their songs. Yes, I hear that when you're singing your songs. I hear the storytelling. These you have those three songs out there. I'm looking, and have you written? Did you write those, or were they written for you, or they chosen for
Yeah,
you?
most of them I've co-written. And then Higher I wrote most of, with a little bit of it being done with my producer. And then one of the songs that's not actually released, but it's on SoundCloud is Hollow Minds. And that one I wrote completely by myself.
Well, tell me about that one. Tell me about you foraying into. Your mom's singing to you in Texas. When do you go off and start writing your own music and figure out that, hey, or what were you doing in school? Did you
Yeah.
study music? Did you take any classes in singing? Were you in chorus at all?
It was a long process. So I moved from Texas to Colorado for school, for college, and I was animal science and pre-vet.
Okay.
And most people are like, "What?"
No. Hey, it's a good. Hey, you got to take care of the little dogs and kitties. That's beautiful.
And I was, 3 semesters away from graduation, and I called my parents completely burned out and just ready to quit and come home. And my mom said, "Why don't you take a music course?" And I was like, "Will they even let me do that? like, is that allowed?"
You pay them
And-
money, they let you take a class. I would hope that still works in this system of ours.
Well, you never know, going from animal science to music, But the Dean of Music let me take a couple different courses, and my first one was Voice 101,
Okay.
which really made me fall back in love with music in general. And I kind of went from there. Like, I studied with a professor doing Italian opera for 2 years. And
What?
then I dropped out of school, which I don't recommend, but for me, it was the best choice.
Yeah, I've
And
been to college a bunch of times. I get it. I understand. But usually I take courses that I'm interested in. I took firefighting. I took paramedic. I took radio and communications. These are little courses that you can take rather than going. My first love was psychology, so I understand about trying setting a goal. Let me go 4 years. No,
yeah,
that's not going to happen. Let me go 6 months. Let me go 4 months. Let me do a little something that I want. But you found music. Were you singing before that? Were you singing in front of people before that?
I had always sung, but it was always discouraged unless you were like super amazing. It's not something that you can make money at. And so it wasn't something that I should pursue. And I let that be my guiding factor for so many years. And then when I hit 27, I recorded Hollow Minds. And that was the first song that I recorded and wrote. And I then realized that a lot of what I was writing wasn't poetry like people had told me that they thought it was. It was lyrics. And all I needed to do was start putting that to music and finding the chords and what have you that I needed. And so that's kind of how it started.
But did you have the song in your head? You said you already see the song. I know that
Yeah.
there's people that see colors when they hear notes. Do you have that? I can't remember the name of it, but do you have that where you see colors and different notes?
Kind of. So like nowadays, my producer usually asks me when I'm going to start producing a track. When I send him the demo track, he usually asks me visually what I'm seeing. So what is the music video going to sound like and look like? And I usually tell him pretty specifics of what the music video is going to look like. And then he's very able to pull up those different videos that I reference and see kind of what they're doing. And then that tells him production wise what my brain is thinking.
Okay. When does penguins on a beach come into play? In this conversation, I want to dress kind of like Bjork and Lady Gaga, somewhere in the middle of that, and then
so in my version of Wonderland, it wouldn't be, the Mad Hatter and there wouldn't be the cat. There would be the penguins and the unicorns, and it would be happier.
Have you considered taking some of the poetry and writing a book, rather than, or maybe make a book of poems? Because that sounds fascinating to me.
I've toyed with it. My mom used to say that I should write a book. So I've toyed with different formats of how to write it, but most of my problem is I haven't really known where to start.
Gotcha. No, and I don't know either. I have thoughts in my head. I talk into microphones. I've been doing this since 1986, talking into microphones, talking to people just like you, Kacey McClain, and getting information and filling my head with knowledge. This is what you're doing. You're filling my head with knowledge. But okay, all right. Let's go back to okay. Well, mom and dad. What did your father do? You said that you were in a Baptist family. What did your father do?
So he was a software engineer for years, and then they moved him into like a design engineer role. That the title was bigger than the span of my arms. Like you can't type it all out on a normal.
No, that sounds like a job where it's straightforward. You're going to make a paycheck. It's not this crazy music business where you could be a starving artist and you never know where your next meal is going to come from. But I got to sing. I got to sing, Dad. I got to sing, Mom and Dad. I got to. No, are they discouraging you? Are they telling you to go off into the veterinary field, or was that your idea?
They definitely did when I was younger.
Okay.
And it wasn't until I moved to California and I really started making things happen that I think they realized that I was really serious about this and that I wasn't just doing it for fun. It wasn't just a hobby that was going to go away in a few, years. And, but I mean, I was a closet singer for so many years when I was little. I remember setting up all of my stuffed animals when I was like 5 or 6 and writing my Grammy speech and giving it to all of my animals. Now, granted, if you were to go back and try to find that, I'm sure it only looks like scribbles.
Okay.
On a
Okay.
page.
But tell me if you remember some of that speech, because some of these songs could win some awards. I'm guessing that they might be. Are these songs getting appreciated? Because I see that they're getting hit after hit after hit. But what was your speech?
We're close. We're close. We're definitely close to getting some awards, and I'm actually entering the music videos in a couple different film festivals coming up. So hopefully some things will start to get a little more distinguished out there, but so far nothing yet.
No, it's nice to get accolades, but you know that you're putting out quality things. And yes, that music video, at least the last one, the My Own Damn Paradise, what an amazing idea. That you put a lot of work into that, a lot of effort into it, a lot of costume changes, a lot of scenes. So you're not just a singer, you're also somewhat of an actress as well.
Yes.
You got out of Texas. Nothing, no extracurriculars in Texas besides until you got to Colorado, you started doing the singing.
So growing up, I was a gymnast. So I competed in gymnastics from age 7 till I was 15.
Oh.
And I got up to the pre-Olympic level, and then I got injured. And then I switched to horseback riding, and I competed in dressage until I was 18 or 19. And I actually, when I moved to Colorado, I moved my horses with me. And me, my horses, and my dog went to college.
Wow, that is lofty. Did you keep him right there in the dorm? Big old horse? Hello.
I wish I could have, but I rented a studio apartment, and then I kept them at a stable that was pretty close to where I lived.
Okay, before you said stable, I had the image of you and Mr. Ed in the studio apartment, just sharing life.
Once I turned 29. I rented a house, and then it did become that kind of situation. My one horse, Dance, would actually try to come in the house with me, and she could make it pretty far through the door. She would hunker down and kind of kneel down and try to come in the house, and it was hilarious.
Oh.
I used to laugh at her, and I'd give her treats, and she would keep trying to come in, and it was funny.
That is hilarious. That's a good story. You in Colorado. You said it was Demon College? Is that what you said? What college?
No. So I went to CSU.
Okay.
In Fort Collins.
Okay, and what was the demon part when you were singing? I thought I heard something. Maybe not. Maybe not.
I don't think.
You said something that they let you take classes, maybe a theme.
Oh, yeah. No, they let me take the Voice 101.
Okay.
And the dean of music was the one who had to, because I was in a completely different department and that wasn't anything to do with my major, they had to approve me doing it.
My mistake. My hearing is not so good looking after all these years. Oh my goodness. The dean of music, not the demon.
You could consider them the demon. I don't know.
No, he's the dean. He's the one who allowed you to sing your heart out. And that's beautiful. Did you get some kind of a degree in that, or are you still 3 credits shy of whatever?
No, I wound up dropping out because my family didn't want me to change my major to music. So I wound up dropping out of school. But I studied with one of the professors from there for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
And so I've got quite some time as far as opera goes under my belt.
Yeah, opera. My goodness, what is it, Mike Rowe? I've been listening to his podcast, and he started out in opera of all things, and he even sings a little bit with that. Do you still feel like you have it in you to do some opera?
I haven't done it in a long time, but it was funny because we were having a rehearsal and something came up about some other type of band that one of my musicians is in, and I was like, oh my God. And I started singing part of the song, and then I was like, okay, I would definitely need to practice that before I ever do that again.
Okay, because when you say Italian opera, I'm thinking of Don Giovanni, or maybe something Carmen.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if that's Italian, but I know Don Giovanni is. But what Italian operas were you involved in? Did you get on stage with those, or was it practice?
I got on stage a couple times. I did perform with the chorus at CSU. I never had any lead parts, but I did do a couple. I would have to dig those out because I don't even remember them.
No, but that helps. That got you some stage time in front of people. I mean, how did that make you feel? Was that the first time that you're performing in front of people besides your family?
The first time performing in front of people was church. So I used to perform in the church choir for, all the way through junior high on until I left, pretty much.
So what's your favorite gospel song that you sang with the choir?
Oh, man. Putting me on point today, man.
I am. I'm asking the deep questions. This is a gotcha type of podcast.
I don't think, if I'm being honest, I don't think any of the church music was stuff that I liked to perform.
Okay.
Now, I liked performing pieces like Adonai.
Yeah, I think that was who was it that did Adonai? Oh, was it Amy Grant did an Adonai, didn't she? I think she did that.
Amy Grant did one, but then there was another group. I can't remember their names.
Yeah, I'm remembering that I was playing at some Christian event, and I found another version of Adonai. I can't remember who it was either.
Yeah, but there was a mezzo-soprano version of Adonai that I used to perform with another singer at the church. And that one I actually enjoyed because that was more my style of music because it was more upbeat and had more pop aspects to it rather than just church music.
Yeah. Kids, we want to break out too. I grew up and I went to lots of different churches trying to find my way, and that has a place for people. But then you break out, you find the world and you get secular, and that's where you're at now. You went to Colorado, but did you go back to Texas, or is it straight to California?
Straight to California.
California is the place you ought to be. And you said 4 years ago you moved to Beverly Hills. That is no, but you went to. What part of California?
I wish I lived in Beverly Hills. Come on.
I'm Beverly Hills adjacent. No, whereabouts are you in California?
So now I'm in a small town called Playa del Rey.
Sounds
it's
beachy.
Close to Marina del Rey. And Venice Beach is also close. We're kind of in that little beachy town area that's just outside of LA.
Okay. So what are the things to do in Playa? What was it? Playa what?
Playa del Rey.
Playa del Rey. That's the beach of the sun, En español.
Is that actually what it means?
Sí, podemos hablar en español. El Playa del Sol. No, it's the beach of the king. I'm sorry. El Rey is the king. El Sol is the sun. So it's the beach of the king, the king's beach.
Okay.
Yeah. So there you go.
All right.
But okay, be the tour guide of Playa del Rey. What can you do if we're taking the What Makes You Famous walking tour to go visit where Kacey McClain lives?
There's the beach, obviously.
Yeah.
There's my favorite coffee place, Tanner's.
Okay.
I will give them a huge shout out. If you're in the area, they have amazing coffee and amazing smoothies and amazing pumpkin bread. If you're a pumpkin fan like I am.
Well, 'tis the season to be pumpkiny.
Yes. And they do an amazing job. And they also have, the non-dairy friendly stuff there too. So you can get everything with oat milk and
Are you lactose
almond
intolerant?
milk.
Are you lactose intolerant?
I'm not, but my boyfriend is, and so now I've fallen into the not drinking any dairy.
Well,
group.
that's what happens. When we fall in love, we become. We do what we have to fall into them or help them be a part of us. Yeah, yeah.
It's true.
She likes cats. I don't like cats. I guess I'm going to take a shot because I'm allergic to cats.
Oh, God.
But that's a little extreme. I think I can give up milk,
Hey, I turned him into a dog person. He was always a cat person, but I have my dog, and I've always been like an all animal person, but I have dogs, so I guess you would say I'm more of a dog person than anything. And he has totally turned into a dog person.
Just a note to you, he's secretly still a cat person.
Well, so we went to his mother's wedding.
Okay.
And she has two gorgeous cats, and both of us were sitting there, and we were noticing that we were trying to handle both of the cats like dogs. And both of the cats, they were tolerating it, but they weren't happy about it at all. They were just looking at us like, please, God, stop. Go away.
Yeah, for those people that
both of us were just like, that's a dog person thing. What are we doing?
For those people that don't interact with dogs or cats, they don't care about you. They don't care at all. You're just there. I've heard cat people say different. Oh no, my cat loves me. No. You see how he's rubbing against your leg, and then he goes over to the coffee table and he rubs against that leg just the same way. He doesn't care about you. You're just a leg that he rubs on. And dogs do care about you. Dogs do worry about you. But then cats are self-sufficient. And then dogs, you can leave 7 days worth of food for a cat, and they'll eat for 7 days. You can leave 7 days of food for a dog. He'll eat for 1 day.
They're going to eat 7 days of food in 1 day.
1 day.
And they're going to be sick.
Yeah. You ever leave that poor puppy at home by himself?
Oh.
But you have a dog. What kind of dog?
She is a rescue, so she is a mix, but she's a West Highland Terrier mix. And she is my baby. She goes everywhere and does everything with us.
Okay. Well, I mean, let's see how far. Sit on the couch. Sit on the couch.
She's literally
sitting on the couch. Okay, there.
She's right there with me.
If you're watching the video version of this, you just saw the baby right there. But if you're listening to the audio, hey, you're getting to hear Kacey McClain. How about that? But okay, all right. Eat at the dinner table. Do you go that far?
She is always so. We usually eat here in the living room, and she's always literally right in front of us.
Scraps?
We try to avoid it now because she's gotten very sensitive to a lot of stuff. But okay.
Now
occasionally,
the big one. Does the dog sleep in the bed with you?
Yes.
What?
And she's very specific of where.
Okay, so she has her side of the bed.
She wants to be at the top part of the bed, right beside my pillow, right between us.
All right. Takes a certain kind of person to be in that relationship where the dog's going to be sleeping with you. Yeah. Okay,
It's
but
true.
that lets me know you wanted to become a veterinarian, but that lets me know that yes, you've loved animals and you've had
Yeah.
dogs your whole life since you were a little kid.
Yep.
That's your thing. All right, beautiful. She's an animal lover, Kacey McClain.
Yep.
Now tell me about that first song that you wrote. What is it about? Because that's pretty much the only one that I couldn't listen to on YouTube. It's on
Yeah.
SoundCloud out there. Tell me what that first song was about.
So it is about a group of girls that I could not stand who were very manipulative and peer pressure and really changed a particular person in my life. And their peer pressure led to lots of things, drugs, what have you, with this particular person. And the song's written about the perspective of a person being changed by peer pressure and just the hollow manipulations and the money and brand specific drive that those girls had.
Wow. So this person was on the right track, and these mean girls, I'm guessing, they pushed him off that track. How old were you when this
Correct.
happened?
Oh gosh, I was 10-ish.
Wow, that's a lot of feelings to have at 10 years old. 10, you should be thinking about your Barbies and you know, maybe some Tonka trucks or whatever. You know.
No, I was writing in my diary these things about these people.
And you're writing a poem that turns into a song. Did you? How long?
Yeah.
How long after that did you turn that into a song?
Well, so it was from all the way then back when I was 10-ish till when I was 27. And I wrote lyrics down on a page and I showed them to my voice instructor. And she said, "Honey, that's a song. You just got to put the beat to it." And I was like, well, I know exactly how I want it to sound. So Alice in Wonderland, where Avril Lavigne did the Alice in Wonderland theme song,
Yes.
came out like probably a month or so before I started working on this song. And I was like, I want the drums from that track, and I want this very driving, very dark, but also pop EDM kind of vibe for this track. And I was like, I want the vocals to have some of the sound from that track, but I also wanted to have kind of these filters from some of what Ellie Goulding was doing back then. And,
what year was this? Was this 2008, 9, 10?
Oh, God.
Later?
Now you're really dating me. It was I want to say 2013.
2013. Okay. I'm getting the timeline here because I remember
Somewhere around there.
I remember that the music was kind of vibing that way, and yeah. And I do appreciate the Alice in Wonderland. I love that story. Not just the ones that have been, you know, out Disney-fied, but the ones that are in the books that are really dark.
Yeah.
So
speaking of dark, I'm going to turn the light on so that I'm not completely dark here.
Okay. And I notice you're on shaky cam. If you want to put the phone down in front of you, that's fine. or we can pretend it's a California earthquake. That's fine. No, please, no. Have you experienced one of those?
I have.
What?
I have. The first month that I moved here, oh my God. I was in my bedroom in Huntington Beach, and I just saw everything moving. And I curled up on my bed, and I called my best friend, and I was like, what is happening?
What is happening? How? So you got like plates and pictures moving around the...
Yeah, everything was moving and shaking, and the big thing that was freaking me out was my wine glass was shaking, and So I called my best friend, and because he had used to live in California, and I just was like, "What is happening? How do I make it through this?" And he was like, he pulls it up online, and he was like, "That's nothing, Kacey. Relax.
Yeah.
It'll pass."
This don't happen in Texas or even Colorado. No.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not used to this.
No, we get hurricanes down in Texas and I guess snowstorms in Colorado. What part of Colorado were you in?
So Fort Collins, and then I slowly moved towards Denver.
Denver, Mile High. All right, cool. Well, I mean, anything interesting about Denver or Fort Collins that you want to give to the people on the walking tour?
Fort Collins, I loved. I really did love. It's so interesting how much of a college town is also very family friendly and very like pet friendly. Like you can take your pets just about anywhere with you. And I loved all the little coffee shops and breweries and different distilleries that you could go into. So I loved it.
I know Denver, a lot of cats that move to Colorado because, everything's legal, right? Everything's free there. It's in the air. You can smell it.
For me, the reason for moving to Colorado, a lot of people ask me, well, so you were born and raised in Texas and you moved to Colorado. Why? And it was because it was the number 2 vet school in the rankings. And so I was like, all right, that's where I'm going.
Well, okay.
And that's where I went.
Now, Texas is huge. What part of Texas are you from?
So Greenville, Texas. It's an hour northeast of Dallas in the middle of nowhere. And fun factoid, it's where Mercy Me originated.
Okay, yeah, the Christian band. Yeah, Mercy Me. I get some people that like to sing karaoke to that, even while people are getting drunk at a bar. Hey, you got any Mercy Me? Yeah, I got some of that.
That's so odd.
Hey, the people need churching up, while they're having their drinks. But I digress. And I know I pushed it kind of far out of the way. I do want you to give credit where credit is due. What was your voice teacher's name?
So my first voice instructor?
Or all of them. I like giving credit where credit is due. All the people that have helped you out along the way. And then I want to get into the people that helped you produce the music as well.
Yeah, so, names slip out of my head.
It's okay. I mean, name the ones that you can. The people that helped you put your first song together, and your second, your third, and your fourth. And how did you, how the videos came about?
Yeah, so my first song was produced by Richard Harris, who's done a lot of production for me and a lot of co-writing with me.
Where?
And he's in Glendale, California.
Glendale.
And he was actually the first California producer that I worked with, and the first one who really kind of took me from that step of wanting to do things to actually making them happen. Alex Tyler, who goes by the name artist Willock, is one of my biggest co-writers. You'll see his name mentioned on a lot of things.
Very good.
Then My Own Damn Paradise, I wrote with both Richard Harris and Dreamin. Dreamin also goes by Dree Patterson as far as like her writer's name. And she is also an artist as well. And the interesting thing when I was writing with her is she was very capable of taking me into this whole new realm of writing more pop, groovy EDM stuff that I hadn't even like really gotten to yet. But like after writing with her, it opened up this whole new section of stuff that I was like, ooh,
So who's
All right.
who's doing the beats? Who's the one that got the Avril Lavigne beat for you and put that all together? Was that your producer?
So that was my audio engineer, and his name for stage is Zach, and it's just ZAKK.
Oh, okay.
But he did audio engineering down in Denver for a couple years, and now he's taken off and he's doing production and writing for massive artists. Like he worked on Justin Bieber's album a couple years ago, helping with production and audio engineering.
Was that the Apology album? I'm hard to say I'm sorry.
No, it was the one that came out back in like 2013, 2014.
Hey, I'm a believer, man. I like the Biebs. I'll play him as often as I can. Yeah, I got no problem with him. He grew up in front of a camera. You can't fault him for that. We all make stupid.
No, you can't.
Yeah, we all make stupid mistakes. Just not a camera jammed in our face 24 hours a day. So yeah. And are you ready for that? You know, you are on this level, and now you're trying to get to the next level of your stardom. Are you ready for people flashing film at you? Wait, I'm old. Getting their iPhones out.
The flashing lights.
Yeah.
You know, I have dreamed of that for so long, but I don't think anybody is ever prepared for what it's actually like. You know what I mean? I think that I will be very excited for those days. But I don't think you can ever really prepare yourself for that.
Okay.
Because I mean, it's going to change everything, you know. Even the level that I've gotten to has changed things, you know, from feeling like you can have any amount of personal information on your social media to being like, well, maybe I'm going to keep that private.
Yeah. Most of mine does not have my family on it. You'll see shows that are coming up, and that's it.
Yeah, there's minimal stuff on there, but most of it I usually warn family members.
That's smart, but you're still out there on all the social medias. I mean, you could tell people how to get a hold of you, you know, all the different social medias that you have, and you do have the website as well. As soon as I pop that website, there you are, Alice in Wonderland. Pow. Okay.
Yep. And I'm very proud of that website because I designed all of it myself.
I like it. I like it so much. I designed my website too. Oh, that's fantastic. It's a very good website too. You know, it's got a lot of information on it. But, you know, I appreciate the videos. I appreciate the music. And I will be playing it at the Rab on Friday night. But
thank you.
I mean,
thank you so much.
That's my job as a DJ. You have to break out the artist. I don't play anything myself. Do you play any instruments at all?
I do a very, very tiny amount of keys, but not enough to say that I'm proficient, which is kind of sad to me because I played piano from age 2 till I was 10, and then I stopped. And like I say, I kind of got away from music because it was so... I couldn't really do what I wanted to do with music because it was discouraged. So I was like, all right, well, fine. I'll leave that, over here, and I'll go do gymnastics and horseback riding. And then I came back to music and I was like, why did I give up piano? If only I had stuck with it, I'd be able to do so much more.
Well, I guess you're working both halves of your brain. You got the music on this side. You got the athleticism on that side. You attempted the school. And you got pretty far. You got further than a lot of other people can get in school. Only 3 credits away or so. You ever think about going back and getting your veterinary license? Making your dad and mom and dad proud and happy?
I've considered it at times, but I just don't think it would ever apply for anything I would want to do. And it's just too much money to really go back and do it.
Well, right now you're heading in this direction. You have some studio music out there. Are you playing in front of people? Are you playing in front of live audiences?
Yes. And speaking of, I have a live show on October 30th. It's a big industry mixer and Halloween party that I am co-hosting with Montourage and Jack Rain Films. And we're doing the full shebang. We're doing the red carpet only. Of course, with me, everything's going to be different colors. So the red carpet cannot be expected to be red. Wink, wink.
Nope, we're painting the roses red.
There might be glitter involved, but I'm not giving anybody any idea until they show up.
So look for the unicorn and the penguins, and maybe the Bjork type swan dress, maybe, possibly. Now, are you even familiar with Bjork?
A little bit,
Okay.
Not like super familiar with their actual music, but I definitely I know the reference a little bit.
Well, her music from Iceland is way out there. She used to be in a band called the Sugar Cubes, and that was
The Sugar Cubes.
the Sugar
I love
Cubes,
it.
and they were out of Iceland. And I had their album, and I played it over and over and over. I loved it, but very eclectic, very ethereal, and when you watch their videos, very just lots of colors and brightness, and you give me a feeling of that, and I appreciate all the colors, and because a lot of kids are wearing black. These kids today, they're wearing black all day.
Yeah.
No, it's black. Like you want to wear the black shirt or the blacker shirt? Yes, I'm wearing black, Dad, like my soul. I have a 16-year-old, in case you haven't noticed. But yes.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, but do you wear a lot of colors when you're out and about?
What's funny is a lot of like my personal wardrobe is black clothing, but since I've been in California, I got a stylist, and she looked at a lot of my stuff, and she was like, "Your personality is nothing like your day-to-day clothes. Why are you not wearing more colors?" And I'm like, "I don't know." I have no idea. And she was like, "Okay, well, we're going to get this and this and this." So I've slowly eliminated most of the black.
Okay. So hey,
and I recently got a shirt, right, that is bright orange and says Reese's on it.
I'm looking forward to seeing that in the pictures.
And I never thought that I would like orange on me.
'Tis the season.
I've totally fallen in love with it. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess that's the new phase.
Excellent. Hey, now, you went to California from Colorado. Did you just go there? Were you the Southern girl, the Midwestern girl, Midwestern/Southern girl that got off the bus in California and didn't know anybody? Who did you know in California?
So my day job is in telecom. So I do project management in telecom, and one of my friends in telecom happened to help me get a position at a new company, and the new company moved me to California. But I landed in California knowing, I want to say, all of 4 people. And that was pretty much it.
Okay. Well, you've already said that you have the stylist. Tell me more. What goes into the becoming a pop star starter kit? What do you need to become the pop star?
What do you need? A lot. So there's a lot of things that I don't think people realize are even involved these days, because it's not just the music. It's not just the talent anymore. And between social media and having your covers for your singles by brand and, looking the brand that you want to represent, meaning you're wearing the colors that you kind of use throughout your material, and you're wearing what looks per brand, and the font is per brand, So So there's a lot. There's, styling and figuring out what your style is, in general, which may be easy for some people, but for me, I knew what I wanted. I just didn't know really how to do it in a fashionable way,
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff that I wear, my stylist actually makes, because she's gotten very in tune with me and what I like. In all of the music videos, all of that clothing has been made specifically for the music videos.
Wow. Shout out to the stylist. Who is it?
Whitney Renee, and she is in Long Beach, California. And she is brilliant. She's tagged in a lot of my stuff, and she's usually not too far from me whenever I'm performing.
Yeah. Well, you're letting people know that the pop star is not just one person. It's a team. If you want to get to a certain level, you could try to do it all by yourself, but it takes a village.
Yeah. Yeah. From building your team, as you say it, of writers, of people that you collaborate with, of producers, mixing engineers, mastering engineers, cover artwork design artists, and people who can do graphic design, which may not apply to everybody, but for me, that's part of it. To building your marketing, promotions. If you are looking at getting into the sync realm of, building your connections with sync, and different companies that can help you pitch music to film and TV.
Right, that's sync. Okay, yes, I have heard of that. That's how you get your music on TV and film. Okay.
Yep. To photographers and building your not just photographer for like social media and album covers, but also your photographer for live events. And, usually that's not the same photographer, because different photographers do different special, things. And then videographers and, your DP on the videography and your director.
No, I know that there's a lot that goes into this. You're talking about even the pictures for social media. I went, I do go from time to time and get to catch some of the local bands and take my good camera and take pictures of them, and then I give them the pictures. How appreciative they are to have pictures of themselves doing what they do. So yeah, we already got this gig. It's time to get the next gig, and you need social media. You need pictures to show people what you're doing, and video. Oh my, yes. You are so right.
And then building your EPK, which is your electronic press kit, and building, what you're going to send to all of your press, or if you're going to go the route of having somebody who does PR, and then building your PR team, which is usually different than your, your marketing team and your promotion team. Those are usually different people because they don't usually do all the same thing. You
got an entourage here that's happening. Kacey McClain, you got people, little ducklings behind you, Mama Duck. Just we need to do this. Touch up your makeup. Let's make an album cover. Let's remix that. Oh my goodness!
It's a process, and it's taken me about 7 years to get to where I am from the beginning of starting to work on music. And, the first single I released, not realizing what all I needed to do to actually make it successful. So at first I released it and it was just kind of sitting there. And I was like, why is nobody listening? And, all the other things I learned throughout the next couple singles,
well,
and now I've come to know that it's having your team and building your team and working on developing your group of people. And those group of people are going to change throughout the years. And, you know, you're going to lose a couple different people down the line. But my goal has been to maintain as many of them as I can.
Well, you're definitely giving the people gems. You know, you can try to do it all by yourself, be that SoundCloud rapper, I guess, or SoundCloud musician, and try to put it out there by yourself. But it's not going to be great unless you have the ability to mix and what a master. And really, you need so many people to get you to the next level. You could try to start. Yeah. You can start by yourself. But then you got to outsource a lot of the jobs, and that it sounds like you've done that. You have a team of people that are helping Kacey McClain become the brand that you need to be, and more people need to know about Kacey McClain. Quite a few people do. I noticed, you know, you do have some quite a bit of followership on your social media, so you've gotten to that level to where people are finding out your name. What are you open to when people slide into your DMs? What do you want them to talk about? And mind you, she has a boyfriend. Okay, no, when they slide into your DMs, what kind of jobs, what kind of projects are you looking to do in the next few as we wind this thing down?
Yeah, so the next couple things that are on my docket are I'm starting this concert series. So it's going to start on the 30th. And my hope for it is it to be for local and upcoming artists that, in my opinion, haven't really gotten their shot to get in front of industry and getting industry out to listen to the show and also talk and mix and mingle with everybody who's performing, and also for the performers to mix and mingle with each other and really get to know each other, because I am a huge supporter of artists supporting artists and everybody helping each other, because it's such a competitive industry that if you constantly compete and it's so cutthroat, you lose the meaning of it and the fun. So I'm constantly pushing artists helping artists. And other than that, I am working on my full album for next year. And other than that, I'm working on a couple other little things, and my goal is to work on sync and getting a couple things in movies and films. So if anybody's going to slide into my DMs, if they're in the film or TV industry and they're a supervisor or a music coordinator, DM me.
Perfect.
I will be happy.
Kacey McClain, how do people get a hold of you? How do people get a hold of you if they do want to get you on their show or what have you? Or how do people follow you around? Give the people your social medias, or is all that on your website?
So everything is on the website, and if you subscribe to my newsletter on the website, then I'll have your contact information and can update you on shows and different events and things that are happening and releases and my merchandise line that I also just launched. But you also can reach out at my email address, which is info@KaceyMcClainmusic.com, or on any of my social media, which is all under Kacey McClain Music. So Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. I'm on it all.
No, very well branded. And yeah, I'm not on TikTok. That's the one I've shunned. I've pushed it away, but I did look at your TikTok page. You're very prolific. You put it all out there. It's fun. It's fun to watch.
I avoided TikTok for a long time, and then I finally, during the pandemic, I gave in. I was like, you know what? I give up. This is where it's going, so I'm gonna add that to my social media.
Yeah, are you kidding me? I fear change. I didn't get a cell phone until 1995, and they were around since before that. And I'm not going to get a cell phone. I don't need a cell phone. What do you need a cell phone for? Well, now you need a cell phone. I don't even have a home phone.
I cringe at the days when I didn't have a cell phone because I'm directionally challenged. So I used to get lost so much. I can't even tell you how many times I accidentally went to Utah once because I got lost.
From where?
Yes. From Colorado.
That's, yeah. I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque or something.
So that's a story for another time, but
yes.
It's definitely an interesting story because, yeah.
All right. Well, I definitely don't want this to be the last time that we talk. As things progress, as time happens, and you got more things to promote and more things for people to see or hear, I want you to come back. But I usually finish these things off with last words for the people. This could be words to live by, something you heard a long time ago, a mantra, something that, or just whatever pops into your head at this moment in time. So Kacey McClain, if you have some last words for the people, or if you want to give some shout outs before you give those last words.
So I would like to give a huge shout out to Jack Rain Films, who filmed my last music video that is doing really well and who is doing amazing jobs on the upcoming music video that I have coming. And a huge shout out to my new producer, Lucas Sater, who is doing amazing things and really helping tone and tune into this next phase that I'm kind of coming into. And also keeping it very much me at the same time. And a huge shout out to Whitney for continuing to help me with all of the insane concepts that I come up with and spending, 20 hours designing sets with me. I greatly appreciate you, and you keep me very honest and going. And other than that, I have to say thank you to my band for putting up with me and all of the changes that I throw at them, to Colin Keller for helping direct my band and make sure that they're on point and doing what they need to do when they need to do it. And other than that, my last words of wisdom would be live your truth and be who you want to be. Be true to you, and don't let the world, don't let other people steer you in some odd direction. Don't be afraid to, wear a unicorn costume if you want to, or be a penguin. Live your truth.
Well, there you have it, party people. Kacey McClain, pop star. Yes, pop star. Look it up in the dictionary. Pop star. She's got the EDM. She's got the electronica. She's got the beats. But she's got that cool, oh my goodness. You just have to listen to her music and then watch the music videos. So eclectic. It's like it's a throwback to the 90s, from the 80s into the 90s, when all that cool music video stuff, they were telling a story with the song, and then in turn telling another story or an adjacent story with the video. She's the whole package. She's got it all. For having Alice in Wonderland be an inspiration, yeah, I could see it. And Mariah Carey and Celine Dion, yeah, I can see it. I can hear it. Beautiful. Fantastic. Kacey McClain, look her up. Ask for her by name. Open the freshness can. Shh. Kacey McClain. Yeah, branded. And I encourage you, movie makers and TV and film, television and film makers, to include a Kacey McClain song in your project. Yeah, I said it. I said it to the universe. That's a very California thing to do. Speak it into the universe, and it may happen. Yeah. Thank you so much, Kacey McClain, for being on the What Makes You Famous podcast. I appreciate that so much. I look forward to following you around on social media and talking to you again sometime in the future. Now, if you, turning my attention to you, would like to tell your story on the What Makes You Famous podcast, I encourage you to give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email info@radiowhat.com. That's it for me. It's KeysDAN, radiowhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.